Yo, Megan Thee Stallion is whack. I see straight through her. I see exactly what she's trying to do. She's trying to silence people, silence people from having an opinion on what's going on, like, with the Tory Lanez situation. So listen, come in, thumbs up this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, hit all notifications so you know each and every time I do uploads. So earlier I'm seeing some, the news swirling around saying that, Megan Thee Stallion had filed a restraining order against Tory. She mentioned that how she continues to still suffer and all of this and all that. Listen, I personally feel like this, right? It was a mention of saying that, there was some money sent through Zelle to Milagro Grams. I personally feel like this. She's been covering that case for so long. You don't know what that money was sent for. That's the first thing first I want to say. So I think they said it was like $3,000 sent between the 2020 to 2022. First and foremost, I feel like with the way that she was going and the way that, she was up with that case, I think that her mouthpiece is worth way more than $3,000. So you don't know what that was for. Maybe the family found out about her from doing YouTube videos and they just like, oh, whatever. And they built some sort of bond. Maybe she was going through something and they sent her the money over. You never know what it was for, like, truly. But I think that Megan Thee Stallion, she's doing stuff like that to just try to break down her integrity of a in regards to being a commentator or a blogger, right? That's what I personally feel. But listen, let's get into this because I seen this floating around online today. So it says Megan Thee Stallion has filed a civil restraining order against Tory Lanez. Civil restraining order. I believe that means that he won't be able to speak on her, make music or anything, right? So Mr. Peterson has been sentenced to 10 years in state prison, but continues his campaign of harassment behind bars. So there's supposed to be a hearing in regards to this restraining order coming up on January 9th. Right? So without a restraining order, Megan will be left without any protection for when Mr. Peterson is released from prison. The possibility also causes Miss Pete severe emotional distress and makes her feel fearful for her life. Like, he got 10 years. I don't know what his release date is, but listen, let me just tell you this. Megan does all of this filing and stuff. I personally believe she does it to play victim. Even when, and listen, I'm telling you, I want to be completely transparent. A lot of the times when things be happening to women, and I think it's because of my close ties and relationships with women, I be feeling, I can understand and I feel them and I get it, right? But Megan has done a lot of sympathy acts through this whole situation. Even on her documentary, I felt like she was fake crying, and she just pushes it just to gain more sympathy. But listen, baby, if you're trying to get sympathy from the people, it ain't working because the music ain't selling like that. It's not. And I know she know that. And if you a fan looking in this camera, looking to my eyes, you know that her music ain't. Listen, they certify all them old ass songs. What's she doing in it now? What she did on that project with outside of Mamushi? What did she do? And that was that was based on TikTok. And you know what? She better pray that TikTok stays around, because if it wasn't for TikTok, your disc would really flop. It really would flop. So anyway, let's get into the rest of this, right? So without a restraining order, we read that, right? So it says, given the granted circumstances in which the victim may seek post-conviction criminal protective order against the victim's assailant, Miss Pete is left without protection. All them people that she be around, she left without protection? Wow, where she needs it the most. Most concerning is if Miss Pete is not issued with at least a civil harassment restraining order, she will be left without any protection for when Mr. Pete is released from prison. The possibility alone causes Miss Pete severe emotional distress that makes her fearful for her life. And she talking about how she ain't want to be around no more. Listen, you better be careful about these things that you speak over your life. You think it's funny, and you think it's funny to say all that stuff because you got money rolling or whatever, and you Megan Thee Stallion. Let me tell you something, right? Ever since your life transformed into Megan Thee Stallion, I know you don't want to unalive yourself, but it sounds good. Just like Cardi went up in that damn thing talking about she couldn't have sex with her husband and this and that. Y'all saying that just for sensationalism. That's what you're doing. That's how I personally feel, is my opinion. Listen. All right. So it is counterintuitive and wholly illegal that Miss Pete had It is counterintuitive and wholly illogical that Miss Pete had any protection by the way of her protective orders and the gag orders issued against Mr. Peterson, right? While he was deemed innocent, i.e. pre-conviction, but had such protections no longer available to Miss Pete due to a mere technicality in the law. Now he has been convicted, The only recourse she now has is to seek civil restraining order against Mr. Peterson and to end his ongoing campaign of harassment. You see, I don't like that. I don't like that because I don't like that because I feel like she could punch and he can't fight back. That's what you want to do. You want to be able to do what you want to do, say what you want to say, but he can't say nothing back. And it's just like, that's not fair. But you know what? People like that receive their karma. That's why them records not selling. That's why them records not selling, not dwelling. You doing all these viral TikToks trying to collaborate with these Koreans, trying to be in the places that they be in. Huh? Please. So listen. All right, Mr. Peterson to end his ongoing campaign of harassment, which underscores the urgent need for a restraining order against Mr. Pete to prevent further harm. Whatever. All right, Mr. Peterson's attempts to re-traumatize and re-victimize Miss Pete recognize no limits. All right. Indeed, they continue while behind bars. The civil harassment restraining order is even more necessary that Mr. Peterson has yet again waged another campaign of harassment against Miss Pete. One of Mr. Peterson's latest involves a filing of a petition for a writ of habeas corpus purposely filed one day before the premiere of Miss Pete's Amazon Prime. You see what I'm trying to tell you? Everything has to... Before the release of Miss Pete's Amazon Prime documentary titled Megan Thee Stallion, in her words, which she fake cried on it. And I'm not crying at nobody's pain, but I felt it was forced. I feel like when people do these documentaries, they have coaches and they tell you like what's needed, how to cry, how to do this and that. I'm not stupid. This industry, you could pay for any and everything. You could pay somebody to tell you how to blink right. Please. I ain't buying it at all. Right? So, alleging that Mr. Peterson's constitutional right to due process was violated by the government failure to produce and preserve evidence. All right, so that's just her chatting about that. And then it says the filing mentions Lane's. All right, so it said the filing mentions Lane's connection to Milagro Cooper and Megan's federal defamation and cyberstalking lawsuit against Milagro, right? So let's read what she's talking about. What happened with her and Millie. So 16, and then indeed, Mr. Peterson continues to harass, bully, and antagonize Ms. Pete from prison by use of his third-party online bloggers, who Mr. Peterson employs. Now he employed, let me tell you something. I ain't being funny. Listen, let me tell you this, right? Millie, if you talking about $3,000 from 2020 to 2022, I think that if they was paying her for anything that to support Tory, I think that her word would be worth more than that. That's three. You don't know what he was helping out with. Let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you how this really goes. I did coverage on somebody who passed away, like a female rapper in California, I think Tan the God or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And her brother hit me up on Instagram and corrected some things that was reported in the article. People's families are watching these videos. So it's just like, what if his family liked the way that she supported him or whatever, and then maybe she went through a hard time and he paid her money for whatever. You really don't know what the context is behind it. So it's just easy. You see how these are like persuasive essays. They're persuasive. That's all it is. All right. So she's saying that Mr. Pete employs to spread defamatory statements about Miss Pete. For example, the blogger Millie has published several false statements about Miss Pete in the criminal trial. Ms. Cooper's false statements are subject to a civil lawsuit, Megan Pete versus Milagro Elizabeth Cooper, pending before the United States District Court of Southern Florida. See, and then they put the case number, a true and correct copy of the amended whatever, and you know they just did that amended too, right? And then at number 17, it says, as it detailed the amended complaint, Ms. Cooper serves as Mr. Peterson's puppet. And it's like, this is defamatory too. You calling somebody a puppet? No, this is a human being. Like, you see, they trying to be funny, but see, they can be funny, but when you say anything, you know, you come under scrutiny and she want to run to the lawyer and say, and you know, run to that. That's wrong, Megan. You gonna get your karma, but you know what? I'm gonna say this, and Lord, please. I'm not even trying to be rude. Megan Thee Stallion is heartless. Any person who lost a mother and a father, she probably don't care about nobody's feelings. Just to be honest with you, she don't care who she got to throw under the bus and what fuss she gonna raise. She don't care. She don't care. I'm telling you, and that's sad to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel as though it's sad. being in the world with no parents. But then it's double sad that, I feel like she has some sort of angst and anger inside of her. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, I was going to say something to bring another rapper into this, but I ain't going to do that. But, so yeah. All right. So as detailed in the amended complaint, Miss Cooper serves as Mr. Peterson's puppet and mouthpiece. Mr. Peterson has publicly confessed to Milagro Grams as the realist. So what? So what? Why you ain't sue DJ Academics? Because you felt like he would go harder on you? Why you ain't sue him? Huh? So I can't get with this, right? A true and correct copy of Mr. Peterson's tweet is attached to the exhibit, and they just saying all of this other stuff that I'm not going to read because I got some other people's name mentioned in it too. And then it said Megan's lawyers also obtained Zelle records that show Tory Lanez's father, Sunstar Carlisle Johnson, paid Milagro $3,000 between October 28th, 2020 to March 3rd, 2022, and 6 payments between $200 and $1,000. Let me tell you something. If she was a mouthpiece, I think that the mouthpiece is worth more than that. But I think that Megan Thee Stallion, the one who sipped that Don Julio by the gallon, chilling out in Calabasas with them bastards, she got a bachelor's, now she's trying to get her master's, but they said that who did the classes? I think that she's trying to hit Tory and hit Millie with the death blow, and she's trying to back up, her defamation case with Millie, and she's trying to use this blow from she's paid. You don't know what he paid for. He said that she the realest. Let me tell you something, right? Do you think just because you a celebrity, listen, I know for a fact that different celebrities have listened to my content before, right? You don't think that they'll search their names and look on YouTube and see certain people pop up and stuff like that? It's so what? What if one of his family members is the one who listened to Millie and was like, oh dad, or oh this or that, she's supporting Tory, and he grew a liking for her. I don't think that that's illegal. See, it's all about the mental gymnastics that people try to play and try to you just got to be able to rise above it. You got to be able, I feel like with court is a whole bunch of explaining and stuff like that, but who knows what the type of lawyers that she got and associated with Rock Nation. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But anyway, I just feel like it's a cheap shot on Megan Thee Stallion's behalf. And I feel like she's acting like she's so wounded and she's so this and so that. But you just came back off of a tour. You just posted today that new music is coming and all of this. You just gloated the other day from having 7 new certified records. You know what I'm saying? This is all strategic. And notice she came out today posting all online, but she knew that this was going to hit the news today. This is why she came out, because she's narcissistic too. She's narcissistic. Potent, pondering, never pandering, never what? Panhandle. I'm about to upload another video too. I might drop this one first, or I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anyway, subscribe to this channel. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think about Megan Thee Stallion playing these reindeer games. Christmas here. She like Cardi playing reindeer games. Listen, I'm out. Peace.